San Francisco was once known for jazz, beat poetry, free expression, and in more recent years as the home for the American tech revolution and as a Democrat stronghold. But underneath the fading glamour and progressive politics of today's San Francisco, something dark has set in. Images of open-air drug markets and tent encampments on the streets exploded after the pandemic. The city government, pressured to defund the police during the Black Lives Matter movement, seemed to be struggling to keep any order at all on the streets. Could one of the richest cities in America really be descending into chaos? We had come to California to find out what the truth was on the ground in the Golden City. We spoke to business owners, citizens, drug users, and the police to get a better sense of exactly what had gone so wrong in San Francisco. On one side of the argument was Dean Preston, supervisor for the infamous Tenderloin district, an ultra-progressive Democrat politician.
I think what you're seeing in the Tenderloin is absolutely the result of capitalism and what happens in capitalism to the people at the bottom rungs.
On the other was Michael Shellenberger, author of San Fransicko and a staunch critic of the city's leaders.
I think there's a real cruelty in it. It's fascinating and dark, but the reality is that there is, I think, that cruelty comes right out of an ideology of compassion.
But first we wanted to see what was happening on the streets for ourselves. So we met with ex-fentanyl addict Tom Wolfe to take a walk around his old home in the Tenderloin. What we found there looked like this.
Oh, you filming me? Stop. I'm glad y'all came.
What was perhaps most striking about walking the streets of the Tenderloin was the proximity of people dying on the streets, like a scene from the Depression, while in the shadow of the most accelerationist tech companies on the planet. On one street, Apple watches could be seen on every wrist, but turn a corner and enter the Tenderloin, and suddenly Narcan nasal sprays used to reverse the effects of heroin and fentanyl overdoses were the accessory of choice.
This is to keep them back from bringing them back because they're pissed off that I brought them back, and all of a sudden they're all mad. Now they're going to go find another hit.
Right.
Okay, I got another hit for you right here, motherfucker. I can't let them die, bro. I say this dude twice in 1 week in the same spot. People are just stepping over and walking by. Just walking around, stepping over, don't give a shit, bro. Look at check. You know what I do when I see somebody sleeping? I always walk up and I kick them.
In the last 7 years, San Francisco spent $2.8 billion on homelessness, and the problem's only gotten worse. This is the result of $2.8 billion of spending. This neighborhood, the Tenderloin, has the most kids living in it of any neighborhood in San Francisco. It has over 3,500 children living in this neighborhood alone. This neighborhood alone, year to date, has pulled over 70 kilos of illicit fentanyl off the street. The police have.
So where are they buying it? I mean, are they just dealers on street corners?
There's certain street corners that you go to purchase it, but it's out in the open. It's not like you go to.
Should we go and see?
Yeah, you want to go see? We can go see.
Hey, Bo, mira estos maes, Bo, quieren que uno salga en la tele y ya lo vamos a agarrar pija, Bo.
Just around the corner from us here is a health centre where apparently if I go in and say that I am an addict, I'll be able to pick up all of the paraphernalia and equipment I need to take fentanyl or crack. Hopefully they'll be able to give me something. There are people just around the corner. Oh, Here we had stumbled by complete accident into a situation that summed up the contradictions of the Tenderloin. What you're seeing here is a man clearly inebriated approaching us while we try to film a piece to camera. He gestured briefly before we turned the cameras on him to what was apparently a gun in his belt. It was an anxious-making situation, but after a bit of back and forth, he relaxed and in fact was incredibly enthusiastic to tell us exactly what he thought had gone wrong in the Tenderloin.
First of all, I never seen a tent unless I went camping until I came to San Francisco. Now, not just San Francisco, now you see tents. Motherfuckers just camp out. Camp out? Ugh. Yeah, that's the problem right there. And then fuck the police, and I'll say it. Fuck the police, because it's a police station right there and y'all don't do nothing. I can go down there, I got drugs on me right now. I can go down there and sell drugs in front of the police station. That don't even make no sense. Like, it's like I'm trying to go to jail. No, they don't care. So that's the one thing, fuck the police. Straight up.
And here we have a progressive volunteer from the harm reduction clinic itself coming out onto the street to berate us for filming the users who they have gifted paraphernalia to use drugs outside the clinic, and attacking the man who we were speaking to for not understanding the politics of the situation. Although the situation feels out of control and almost lawless, the police are present. At one point, even a sheriff's car glides past, and yet nothing is done.
And you see it too. Nothing. Nothing. That's why I said, fuck the police. Nothing. Didn't I just say it? Nothing.
And they see it, the windows are down.
No, the windows is down. I must have walked outside at the right time to tell y'all the real.
You don't even know what the hell
Man, I wasn't even talking to you, nigga. I wasn't even talking to you, homie. I wasn't even talking to you, bro.
Once things had calmed down, I went into that harm reduction clinic to see what they'd give me. I'm going to go inside and see what I can get. After a matter of minutes, no questions asked, I came out with a meth pipe and all of the paraphernalia I'd need to use on the street. In recent years, fentanyl had been cut into many other drugs and now dominated the scene in San Francisco.
There's always the homeless, there's always the drug addicts, there's always the drug dealers. Like I said, it was always an area where a lot of illicit things were going on. But fentanyl came, and that changed the game. So 10 years ago, you didn't see tents on the street, you didn't see so many homeless, you didn't see open air drug dealing so prevalent and so blatant. You didn't see open air drug consumption. People used to go to hotels, or they'd go into a car, or they'd go into a corner, they'd go into a park or something.
No drugs are good, but that fentanyl, straight from hell.
It's killing everybody.
It's killing everyone. I've been here 3 months. I watched 3 people OD and die.
Yeah.
And that's just walking, I stay in like a 6-block radius. That's just right here.
It's crazy, man.
You know, and that's what I happen to walk up on. Who knows how many people are dying every day?
Yeah.
Terrible.
How's this neighborhood changed in the past 6 years?
Well, this is truly just my opinion. I feel that it's gotten a little bit worse as far as the cleanliness and seeing the effect of the drug use. So, however nice I can say it, you see more people that are like under the influence. Way more.
Is that part of why you're keen to move?
Big part.
Should drug addicts be treated as victims or criminals? This seemed to be the question that was dividing the city. And so we went to speak to Dean Preston, supervisor of the area of the Tenderloin that we just walked through.
I've come to City Hall in San Francisco, literally just a couple of blocks from where we were yesterday in the Tenderloin district. We've managed to secure an interview with someone called Dean Preston. He is the supervisor, the local politician for the Tenderloin area, for District 5 of San Francisco. So it is his job to manage those streets. He's actually on the left of the Democratic Party. He describes himself as a democratic socialist. So even though the mayor, London Breed, is a progressive Democrat, he considers her too right-wing. They've recently had a dispute over the police. She wanted to arrest people who were openly using drugs. He disagrees with it. So it's going to be interesting to see how his philosophy can defend the scenes that we saw yesterday. Before we go inside, I just want to take note of the surroundings here. All of these sights and sounds, the contradictions of San Francisco are present. We have an interesting group of mostly ladies across the road. They're doing some sort of exercise class, having a good time. There's a gay wedding going on behind me. There were lots of guests having a happy time, but they of course just step aside as people come past in wheelchairs. There was a guy I saw with just one leg, clearly using some sort of drug. A lot of homeless people about. There's even a couple of protesters just sitting on the steps there holding climate change placards. So let's go inside and see what Dean Preston has to say.
Supervisor Preston does not give many interviews. We'd worked to gain his trust over the months prior to our visit to San Francisco, though I suspected after Freddie asked his first question that he might have regretted taking the interview.
Dean Preston. Hello.